What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Drops. So, this is going to be the final video before the coaster season actually starts. I promise the next video will be a video at a park. Let's go. I'm excited, but to hold you guys over while we wait for that, I have one more sit-down video that I came up with the idea for just today, and that was saying one bad thing about each of my top 20 coasters. Let's spread negativity. Let's go. So, my top 20 right now, before the season has started officially, is as follows, from number 20 to number 1. SheiKra, SpongeBob SquarePants Rock Bottom Plunge, Tigris, Pipeline the Surf Coaster, Space Mountain, Wild Thing, Steel Venom, Manta, Thunder Striker, Mako, Kumba, Afterburn, Copperhead Strike, Montu, Renegade, Kraken, Incredible Hulk, Fury 325, Iron Gwazi, and my number 1 is currently Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure. So today we are going to be going there in that order from 20 to 1, and I'm going to say one bad thing about each coaster. So let's go. First of all, SheiKra. This is not a hard one because if you watched my most recent park vlog video where I went to Busch Gardens Tampa with my friend Preston, we did not have a great time on this ride. It was a 180-minute wait, which I actually looked up on like park statistics. We had the 4th longest wait time ever for that ride on that day, and we were in it. It was ridiculous. It was like, bro, what are the odds of that one? And I think like the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th wait times were also in that week, so it was just like a really busy week at the park. But yeah, that's not a thing that's like really against the ride, though. That was just like an experience thing. So for the actual ride, I'm just going to say the fact that it only has one inversion, and it's kind of a whatever. It's like an Immelman inversion. That one, those have never really done much for me. So like, it's really just about the first drop. I know there are some dive coasters that aren't like that they actually have like a real full layout, but SheiKra is not one of them. So, number 19, SpongeBob SquarePants Rock Bottom Plunge, and this one, I think it's a little bit rough. I got to ride it. It's actually, I believe it's the most recent one I've ridden out of all these because I got to ride it recently. Luckily, it's like open all year because it's in a big mall. Got to ride it a couple months ago just to hold me over until the season starts. And yeah, that one was interesting. No, maybe that was before I went to Busch Gardens. I don't know. Either way, it was an interesting ride in that a lot of people I heard called it rough. I didn't really feel all that rough. Maybe it was like I was in the front row. Maybe it's like rougher on the side as well. I was like in the front, in the middle. But I don't know. There wasn't much of that. I'd say, I don't know, maybe the fact that it's a smaller train, there's like the capacity wise, I've never really liked the Gerstlauer roller coasters in that way because of their capacity and the fact that there's like, you can't get whip over the drop because it's just like, yeah, it's a steep drop, but like you don't get whipped over. And that's, I think, the best part of the drop. But like, since it's such a short like car, I don't feel any of that whip. And I don't know, maybe I should feel the whip because it's like going so far like past vertical and everything. But for whatever reason, I've just never felt a whip on that sort of ride. I don't know. Number 18, we have Tigris. This one could be capacity again, but I think for me, it is the roll at the top. I've never really gotten the hype around really slow inversions. I am a fan of hang time, and I like stalls, but when you're just not going fast, like elements just don't hit as much. Like my favorite thing about a roller coaster, I know like a lot of people will say, oh, they value airtime the most. I think that's the most common. A lot of people value intensity the most. Some people like ride duration. I don't know. But for me, it's always been just pure speed. Like that's always been the element of a coaster that I care the most about is the speed. Like the sense of speed, the sense of going so fast is what I ride the coasters for. And that's why like the really slow inversions, although they do have the good hang time, are way not. I don't like them nearly as much as like a fast stall or something. Which I haven't even really been on like a great stall, but I will be going one in my travels for this year. I think the first one I'll come across is Goliath at Six Flags Great America, so excited for that one for sure. Number 17, I have Pipeline, and this one, there's a lot of good things about it, but the one bad thing has definitely got to be the standing up restraints. It is better than stuff like Vortex at Carowinds, but I still remember, especially when I was waiting, like, on the brake run to go back into the station after the ride, it was like really bad. I don't know. Like, it was hurting down there. It was not great. Number 16, I have Space Mountain at Disney's Magic Kingdom. This is the hardest one because I haven't ridden this one since I was like 7 years old. But I remember really loving it. But I think, honestly, the knock for this one is just that it's like a family coaster and it's not super thrilling. So that's kind of it. Number 15 also has to do with the fact that it's not thrilling, but this one is not a family coaster. It's a hyper coaster, that being Wild Thing at Valleyfair. And this one has got to be like just everything past the brake run. There's no airtime on those hills. I've never gotten a trimless ride. Should be going there pretty much as many times as I can this year. So if I get a trimless ride, I will be sure to, I'll try to get a trimless ride. I don't know how like that is determined, but it'd be really cool if I did, you know? Number 14, I have Steel Venom at Valleyfair. And this is kind of a ride without many flaws because it's not very like complicated. You just go like, and then you're done. And I think honestly that might be the knock against it, is the fact that you just kind of do the same thing a whole bunch of times. Yeah, there's a holding brake and that makes it better. That's the best part of the ride. But it's like you're just doing the same thing. There's not like variety of elements, I would say. Number 13, I have Manta at SeaWorld Orlando. This is a very easy one. It's the pretzel loop. I don't like when I feel like I'm going to die. G-forces have never been my thing. Yeah, that's about it. But the sense of flying is really good. That's why it's still up on that list. Number 12, I have Thunder Striker. Another easy one. The second half past the brake run. There's not a lot of force there. The airtime hills at the start of the ride are good. Big first drop, like 230 some feet. But the part afterwards just doesn't do much for me. I don't know what it is. Number 11, another similar deal with Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. This was back when I really didn't enjoy airtime as much. I mean, I still don't love Floater as much as Ejector. I've always preferred Ejector airtime to Floater just because, like, getting thrown out of your seat is more fun than just, like, rising out. And, like, being out of your seat for a long period of time is cool, but, like, I don't know. It's just, I like it when it's violent, you know? But yeah, that would have been the part that I don't like, but at this point, it's just, again, the second half is lackluster for Mako. Number 10 is Kumba, and this is one that I see a lot of people kind of talking about, and that is the roughness. And yeah, when I got my last ride, I did notice that it was a little bit rough. There was a little bit of head banging. Unfortunate, because I do really like the B&M Looper models a lot more than some people do, but just can't ignore the head banging for that one. Number 9, I have Afterburn at Carowinds. And this is another one where it does everything that it's trying to do. But honestly, the worst part about it, probably just that it doesn't try to do anything like super unique. It just kind of feels like a regular B&M invert. And, you know, honestly, it was the second like B&M invert I rode. It's not like I knew what that really felt like. But like Montu is just so much more dynamic. I don't know. Number 8, I have Copperhead Strike, which actually moved above Afterburn. It used to be that Afterburn was 8 and Copperhead Strike was 9. But I think with how my tastes have changed, although I didn't ride them to switch them, it was just like those two were very close regardless. And I just think Montu is considerably better than Afterburn. And Copperhead Strike is just a fun coaster. And I think, honestly, the biggest problem I have with it is that it's not, like, it's not as thrilling as some of the other ones. Like, I'm trying to think of the word here. It's not really intense because it's not, like, a G-force thing. But, like, maybe it's just the sense of speed. And part of that could be from the launches because they're not super punchy. But, yeah, punchy launches are always nice. Number 7, Montu. And this one is, I think there's just this one specific part after the Batwing. You dive off like from the brake run, and there's a little part where it kind of loses steam. But that last inversion is really cool. So not the whole second half. And again, having to stretch a little bit more for these. Number 6 is Renegade. However, this is an easy one. It is becoming a little rough. I don't notice roughness as much on wooden coasters that I do on steel coasters, which is kind of weird. Maybe it's a restraint thing. Because, like, when you have, like, head restraints, it's much easier to, like, have that. But, I don't know. When it's a steel coaster, or even when the coaster's No, I guess Corkscrew does have overhead restraints, so that would count as well. But yeah, that was one that I remembered being rough from last year. We'll have to see again going back this year. Number 5 is Kraken. This is one where I didn't really feel as much roughness, at least not as much as Kumba. But I do think that is probably going to have to be the thing for this ride. Because, like, I don't know, there's not much else that I don't like about it. It's a very good B&M looper. Do want to ride it again because I've still only gotten one ride on it, but I don't know. Maybe you do lose kind of a fair bit of speed after the brake runs. Maybe that, I don't know. Number 4 is the Incredible Hulk. This one's another easy one. The second half is just not very lackluster. But honestly, it pretty much makes up for it by the fact that the music goes so hard in this part. Like, the music is the best part of the ride, honestly. Like, anybody who says, oh, this element of a coaster that isn't directly related to it doesn't make it better, like setting or music or dueling, like the fact that it duels. As someone who's never been on a dueling coaster, I have my speculations, like, why would dueling make it better? But I also, like, kind of thought that about onboard audio for a little bit, and then I got to experience the Hulk, which is way better because it has onboard audio. Onboard audio makes a huge difference, and if you don't believe me, you gotta ride the Hulk or something with onboard audio. But either way, the second half isn't great, and if the second half was better, I mean, honestly, it's not beating out Fury 325 for the top 3, but it would definitely be much more inclined to hold on to that number 4 spot. But yeah, my top 3 are all head and shoulders above everything else. Number 3 is Fury 325. And this is nearly a perfect ride. It's B&M's best coaster, I believe. At least, I mean, I haven't ridden very many, but I hear from everybody it's the best. It looks like the best, tallest, fastest, everything. Maybe that one turn, like there's this one turn like near the end of the ride where there's not much going on, so maybe that, I guess. But I don't know. This ride is just so good. Number 2, Iron Gwazi. This one, however, I do have an answer for. I have quite a few, actually. Number 1, the death roll was disappointing. I don't think it was my favorite element of the ride. I preferred the first drop and the wave turn. Number 2, the restraints are kind of uncomfortable sometimes. Sometimes they're fine. Sometimes I don't notice them, and sometimes I really do. Like, there is some ejector pops that kind of, like, hit my thighs really weird, and I didn't like it. I hope that doesn't become a theme, though, on other, like, roller coasters with ejector, or at least other RMCs, because I know they have, like, similar lap bars. I don't know. And then the ending is just, like, kind of mid. There's not very many great elements at the ending. Like, the stall is whatever, and then after that, I basically don't remember any of the other elements. But the wave turn and first drop are fantastic. Like, top 5 elements for me, both of them. Still a fantastic ride in general. Breakneck speed, super fast, super good feeling of speed. So, still easy top 2. And then number 1, we have Velocicoaster. And the thing that is wrong with this coaster is nothing. There is nothing wrong with this coaster. It is literally perfect. Sorry, I'm glazing a little bit. I don't know. Let's see here. What is wrong with Velocicoaster? I mean, there's not really anything. Maybe, okay, the first half could be a little bit more intense, but like the feeling of speed you get when you're there and like dodging in and out all the obstacles, you feel like you're going really fast. And then everything from that second launch on is perfection. You can't convince me otherwise. Maybe the fact that it does 2 laps around the same thing, that seems kind of boring and it feels like they could do something else, but it's not like it just does 2 laps. It has a stall and it has like a switch back, which gives you airtime. So it's not like you do nothing during those sections. So even at that point, like, you have to get real nitpicky for that one. But even then, I don't personally have a problem with the first half being less insane. I still think some of the elements are really good. It still has some cool moments. Theming is great, obviously, in that part. Usually theming doesn't make a huge difference for me, but when it is done that well, it does. Yeah, so with that being said, that is the end of this video. Spreading negativity, let's go. And yeah, well, next video I'll be at Valley Fair, and we'll see if any of these roller coasters can change their rankings. Maybe we might see a change up in the top 5. Renegade might jump above Kraken, we'll see. Or it might jump below Kraken and below a bunch of other things because it's getting really rough. Who knows? Maybe even Steel Venom might be my favorite ride there when all is said and done. I doubt it, but I don't know. You never can know what's going to happen. So, yeah, with all that said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like and subscribe. Stay tuned for future videos. Check out Beyond the Stats if you like the NFL. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.